What's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to News in Motion. It's your boy Marty Marr, aka Mr. Showtime himself. Today is March the 7th, Tuesday. We are again in Women's History Month. Let us know who that special woman is in your life, whether it's the aunties. Shout out to all the aunties out there, the mothers, the wives, the sisters, daughters. It could be whoever is special in your life. Also, be sure to let us know when you're tuning in from, whether it's through Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Shout out to all the audio and podcast listeners this morning as you're heading into the workplace, dropping the kiddos off at school, grabbing your breakfast, and you're probably in that McDonald's drive-through getting the McGriddle. Yeah, I know the McGriddle slap. But also, let us know how you're doing today. With that being said, let's get this news in motion, y'all.
News in motion.
What's up, everyone? It is time for News in Motion. I'm sorry, I'm tripping off of Isaiah. He came in like, hello, and I loved every moment of it, every moment of it. I see you, Kim Edmondson, coming in here. I see you, Marion Jackson. Good morning to you. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James. I see you, Lori Wallace. Y'all are rolling up in here this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you. Y'all, today is Tuesday, y'all. It is Tuesday. That's happening Tuesday. It is Tuesday, March the 7th, 2023. I am your host, Gail Dudley. Y'all, we are knocking on 3 years, so we're really excited about it. Y'all, I just want to welcome everyone who tunes in, whether you're tuning in live or if you're watching the replay. I just want to say what's up. I see you, Kenny Stanley, coming in here this morning as well. Y'all, thank you for allowing me to spend just a little part of your day with you. I see you, Monica Lowe, coming in, Dr. Monica Lowe, coming in from LinkedIn. I see Dr. Antoinette coming in here also. She's on Facebook, but she's in that Baltimore, Maryland area. Listen, to all of our audio listeners and our podcast listeners, good morning to you as well. I see you, Jacqueline, coming up in here also. Some of y'all are probably saying, okay, is she going to be as pumped as she was yesterday? I'm still pumped, but I had to bring it down a notch. Y'all, I was on fire yesterday, just thinking about the tricks and the all these shenanigans that they're trying to put in place. But we will succeed, y'all. We will succeed. I see you, Deborah Sneed, coming in here also. Y'all, we understand we've got a lot of feedback yesterday from people who are usually on here every morning, and they were letting me know, hey, did y'all not do this today? I couldn't find you. I did everything. I put you in the search bar, could not find you. Y'all, it's real. It's really it's happening to us. So I'm bringing in Isaiah real quick before I go to the Women's History Month so that we can help get this news out to other people before we dig into it. So Isaiah, come on in here. I see my brother coming in here also. Isaiah, can you share with people? I mean, we've had Devontae Goings, who said he tried everything, he could not find us. And he's one of our special reporters that come on. We had Cherie Brooks saying she could not find it. We had Rodessa saying she couldn't find. We had so many regulars saying they could not find it. It was just interesting. So Isaiah, can you speak to that? And then we'll get to the Women's History Month. And I see you, Pastor Alex Williams, coming in here. And Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, how you feel, girl? Is your body back in motion after we was doing all those dances on Friday? Go ahead, Isaiah, talk to us. What can they do to make sure their algorithm is set and we're bringing in people, because people could not find us yesterday?
Yes, I can. Of course, I can speak to that. A lot of people have been saying that they aren't able to find News in Motion, even though they know we're usually live at 7:25 from Mondays through Thursdays. And like I said before, this is all ties into shadow banning, y'all. This all ties in with shadow banning. So what is happening is that Facebook, Meta, they're basically taking our content and putting us at the bottom of the page. our latest videos, they're taking it and putting it at the bottom or putting it in their archives and putting it out for later to be posted at a later time and date. When you know, it goes against our analytics when we want to post it an hour after we go live. So one way to combat this is to make sure that you have daily reminders set for when News in Motion goes live. You know, even if that means you got to get up a little bit earlier. And also, we're making a change. I don't know if Miss Gail, if you know, am I allowed to speak on this? You know, our change. We're making a shift over to YouTube. We found out that a lot of people still use YouTube to watch a lot of their content, along with TikTok and Instagram. So we will be making a change or a shift over to YouTube. So there you have the YouTube channel to tune in to News in Motion at www.youtube.com/Gail Dudley. You can also set notifications. Notifications are the notification bells, or when you like the page and when you follow the page in News in Motion, you should see three little dots appear. When you hit those three dots and you see news feed, you're going to hit all. That means you get all the content from News in Motion, all the posts, pictures, breaking news, live streams. You get everything. Jeffrey Allen James says you froze at times yesterday, thought Meta was going to stop you. See, that's something we don't even notice on our end. But yes, that we're basically being censored for telling the truth, y'all. So we're gonna make a change and go over to YouTube and see how we do over there. I want to say this is Maria Scott. Is that you saying him? Said, I don't know if this helps, but LinkedIn sends me a notification. That does help. Any notification that you are able to get it. If you need help setting notifications, you know, I could do a presentation on that sometime this week, so I can help y'all.
Thank you so much. And as Isaiah said, we're going to start making that change over to YouTube. So if y'all want to start trying it out this month, that's great. Remember, April, we're taking a break. So we're going to come back in May ready to make that shift. So we'll be reminding you about YouTube the rest of this month if we don't get kicked off of Facebook beforehand. But hey, it is what it is. But thank you, Isaiah. And he will be doing a presentation on setting those notifications tomorrow during Workshop Wednesday. So thank you so much, sir.
No problem.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all, let's get into some news. Women's History Month. This book is phenomenal. Pastor Alex Williams, I'm sure, is familiar with this book. It's called The Good I Am, and this is written by Clark Samantha. There's something I want to just read in here. She sent this to me, I think it was a year and a half, 2 years ago, with a nice little package, a nice little gift. And, you know, when I first went through it, I was like, wow, this is really powerful. But I've been reflecting on it again over the past several weeks. So I wanted to shout her out today. I want to read one of her poems or written words from her book. It's called Someone. And this one really touched me. Someone has to know the inside of my mind had no rhyme or reason, weird seasons and treason from Samantha's core. I just want more sometime. And a shore that lures my soul home. Someone has to know there are days when I wade a slave to caves, weighed down by waves and current events that prevent Black life, Black strife, consumed, and someone asks on Zoom, how are you? Someone has to know I can see the light. I do have some fight. I do know that bright follow dark nights. I do know right from wrong. He's there all along. I can find my way. Allow me to stray. I'll be okay. That one really spoke to me. And in her card, I won't read her whole card to me, but her card that she sent to me, she was saying, I hope you see reflection in something I've written. And that was the main one that just popped out at me. Pastor Alex, let us know. I believe you can get this by going to Amazon. And then you can also, and I hope you can grab this, Isaiah, to put theirs in here. You can also go to buy Clark with the E, Samantha.com, and also see her other work. Again, that's buy, B-Y, Clark, C-L-A-R-K, Samantha, SAMANTHA.com. And we'll get this in there as well. But let's support this young lady, the work that she's doing. Everything in this book is phenomenal. Um, and I just that one has always stuck out to me, someone. So again, thank you, Clark, for sending this to me, my little gift set. I appreciate it, but I want us all to support this young lady and get her work. So that's our Women's History Month highlight today. I see you, Stephanie Burbridge. I see you, Shardinia. I see you, Judy Neal. Good morning. All right, y'all, so let's get into the news. Let's start with the Council on Foreign Affairs. Foreign relations, excuse me. UN countries reached deal to protect international waters. Didn't know that was a thing, right? Oh, you're absolutely welcome. Hey, I wanted to. This is phenomenal. So if let us know if we can get this on Amazon or if we have to go directly to her website. And again, for those of you, the website is by Clark with an E, Samantha.com. And you can find her other work there as well. Absolutely phenomenal. So, y'all, almost 2 decades of negotiations, UN member countries on Saturday reached a deal. Did y'all even know there was a deal to be reached? The Guardian's reporting to protect the so-called high seas, international waters that comprise more than half the world's oceans. And it's like, what? So I was digging into this, y'all. This deal creates a legal framework to protect and monitor at least 30% of these waters by 2030, in part of by requiring environmental assessments for activities such as deep sea mining. It will be crucial to the success of the 30 by 30 deal that UN members agreed to in December. Sometimes we skip past the UN and what they're talking about, but y'all, it's so important in these days to start paying attention to the information that's coming out of the UN. So they agreed to this in December, which aims to extend protected status to more than 30% of the world's land and water by 2030. Yeah, the new agreement will need to be adopted and ratified by UN members. Now, y'all, a coalition of countries, including the United States, China, and United Kingdom, and the European Union, that's the EU members, played an important role in brokering the deal. The UN Secretary General celebrated the agreement as a victory for multilateralism, and that's the UN News is reporting. Also, Council on Foreign Relations, Japan, South Korea announced plans to address wartime forced labor tariffs dispute. Yeah, y'all. Seoul said it will compensate 15 Koreans who were forced to work for Japanese countries during World War II and drop a complaint at the World Trade Organization over Japan's export controls. So, y'all, all of that's happening too. And y'all, when you hear things like this, tariffs, UN members, UN Council, don't say, oh, it has nothing to do with where we live, the US. It has everything to do with it because we are a part of these different agreements and things that are going on. Also, Pakistani media regulator bans airing of speeches by former prime minister. That should alert you as to why are you banning them, and this is going into a media ban. Good morning, Bill. Good morning to you coming in from LinkedIn. Also, Bangladesh, a fire at a refugee camp left some 12,000 people homeless. Y'all, why were they left homeless and what's happening? We hear about Turkey and Syria. So what's going on there? Also, y'all, Iran pledges to increase UN monitors access to nuclear sites. We need to pay attention to that. Y'all, during a visit to Iran last week, International Atomic Energy Agency chief Rafael Grossi said that there was agreement to allow more inspections of the nuclear sites and reactivate monitoring equipment that was removed last year. Right there, you should say, why was that removed last year? Why do people have access without having someone videoing and monitoring these sites? However, in a joint statement from the IAEA and Iran's nuclear body did not mention whether they would restore the equipment. That should be concerning, especially with what we see going on in Ukraine and Russia. And then, China and the US is going at a little bit under, just throwing some shade back and forth. I see you, Rodessa. Y'all, and then in U.S. Syria, chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, made an unannounced visit to the U.S. troops in Syria, and this was in Reuters on Saturday, where he defended their nearly 8-year-old mission to combat and self-declare Islamic State. He said an enduring defeat of the group, which is still possible that there's a defeat. So y'all, I just gave y'all some foreign counsel from foreign relations. And you're probably saying, why is she reading that? Why is she giving us that information? Because every last single one of those articles attached to something that's going on in the US. See, y'all, again, we go and we vote. We go in and we select people, and they have no background whatsoever to handle this type of information. So why are we getting into this popularity contest to just vote by, oh, that name sounds familiar. Oh, they're a woman. Oh, they're a man. Oh, they're related to the last Kennedy, or so forth and so on. We got to stop doing that, y'all, because I want people in those chambers. I don't know about you, but for me, I want people in those chambers who are able to deal with these things that are popping off here and there. That is important. So here, over here in the homeland, let's use this as an example. Hello, somebody. That's happening Tuesday. Y'all, Politico reports that the New York Republicans go to all-out war against Santos and the embattled, his whole shenanigans he has going on. And by the way, his name is Anthony DeVoyer. Their colleagues are trying to push him out. But he gave a quote in an interview yesterday. He said, no one. He goes, they can't control me. No one can control me. And this was during an interview on yesterday. Well, first of all, why did you say no one can control you? Which I get it. And why are you saying you can't be controlled? What is it? What's your real reason for wanting to be in this seat and doing what you're doing while you're in there, from all the lies that you created to get you in there? The truth is, the constituents who voted you in there did not vote that person in there. You become someone else. All right, so y'all, the New York House Republicans, they are beginning to back away from him. Now, there's 6 of Santos' New York colleagues, particularly the 4 who flipped tight battleground districts last fall. They are working out in front as well as behind the scenes to contain the blowback from this embattled lawmaker's deception about his past. So they're working, they're trying to get him out of there. Now, the majority of the GOP within the House, they're wanting them to silence, because they already have a slim majority. Y'all remember that. They did not have a red wave. They have a slim majority. So they're trying to tell them, y'all need to be quiet. We need to just leave him in here. We'll control him. But you also have Santos saying, you can't control me. So there's a lot that's happening there that we all have to pay attention to. Now, y'all, they're also, because he's in the middle of some TV deals and some book deals. And my thing is, how can you get these so fast? That they're trying to, and I shared this last week, put in some legislation to say that he cannot profit off of his lies. He cannot profit. This is not about reality TV. This is about running this United States of America. So y'all, again, but even with that, y'all, we have thousands of pro-Trump bots. They're not real people, they're bots. They are attacking Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley. So there's thousands of fake automated Twitter accounts created in the past several weeks that have been praising the former guy and making fun of his 2 people who, well, one hasn't announced yet, but Nikki Haley has. And they're really trying to push what it is that he's doing, and they're coming after them with everything they have. Well, y'all, I still get second freeze. Is it just me? So people are freezing. You just froze. I don't know what it is, y'all. We're gonna just keep going. So if y'all want to go over to the YouTube and see if I'm gonna freeze there. So because I cannot control it. Those of you who are on LinkedIn, tell me if I'm freezing on your end. Hopefully I'm not. So I'm seeing this. So because I'd like to see the information that's coming from the former guy, he sent out 2 emails on yesterday that I got in my inbox. And he cracks me up. He always says, friend, I'm not your friend. But he says, the one says, ever since President Trump's, and I'm giving a quote, President Trump's amazing CPAC speech, he is surging in the polls like never before. One poll shows he's leading the field with 64%. Y'all, that's not true. That's not true. So this is the propaganda he's sending his base. That's the propaganda he's sending. Another email reads, friend, again, I'm not your friend. Last month, we launched a ballot harvesting fund to beat the Democrats at their own game in the states where it's legal. Well, what? What do you mean in the states where it's legal? Okay, YouTube, Adrian saying it's not freezing there. So they go on to say this month we are launching a voter registration fund to erase the Democrats' voter registration leads in some of the most important battleground states. And Dr. Lowe said it's not freezing on LinkedIn either. So it's something with YouTube. It's something with YouTube. So, I'm sharing these 2 emails with you, and I'm not suggesting that you sign up, but I'm sharing these 2 emails with you because I want you to understand the propaganda that they put out there and the statements that they make that are false. And people are sending funds to his campaign um, without the full knowledge that those things are not true. He's not leading polls by 64%. There's not a new poll. And then they're asking you to take the poll. Well, if you're leading the poll by 64%, why do we need to take the poll? Because it shows that it's already been completed. Polls don't stay out there. They gather the data, they bring it in, then they submit a new polling. So you have to understand where he's at and what's going on there. So there's just some things that are happening. So let me go back up here. Also, talking about Council on Foreign Relations, I want y'all to hear this. And yes, I'm slow walking today. I don't have the fire that I had yesterday because I was coming for everybody yesterday. It was a different kind of news segment. Today, I want you to hear what I'm saying and start having these aha moments. Y'all, there were Americans who were kidnapped on Friday at the Mexican border when they walked over to Mexico. Now, the U.S. Department of State has issued a travel warning, and you can go usdepartmentofstate.gov and read it for yourself. Y'all, the summary is violent crimes such as homicide, kidnapping, carjacking, and robbery is widespread and common in Mexico. The U.S. government has limited ability to provide emergency services at this time to U.S. citizens in many of the areas of Mexico, as travel by the U.S. government employees to certain areas is prohibited and restricted. If you are going somewhere in Mexico, find out before you go the warnings. Y'all, in many states, local emergency services are limiting outside the state capital or major cities. U.S. citizens are advised to adhere to the restrictions on U.S. government employee travel. Pay attention. Good morning, Stacy. Y'all, another report from DW. This is an international verified media outlet, says 4 U.S. citizens were kidnapped after crossing the border into Mexico by unidentified armed men, according to reports. The victims were taken at gunpoint from their minivan in the border city in the state of, I hope I say this right, Tamaulipas, across the Brownsville, Texas border. The 4 Americans were then placed into another vehicle and driven from the scene. So again, the U.S. government is saying, please use caution when going there. So that's coming from the U.S. Department of State. Then we have, and again, I'm just building this. Dr. Lowe saying, okay, now it's freezing on LinkedIn. So maybe it's something, I don't know what this is. I don't know what it is. There's not bad weather, so I have no idea what it had to do. Kim Edmondson said, had to switch to YouTube. You were freezing. I have no idea what's happening, y'all, but we're going to keep going. And hopefully if you watch the replay, it will not freeze. Y'all, Tucker Carlson, if y'all remember, the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, gave him the footage from the January 6th insurrection. Well, Tucker Carlson is saying from his viewing of it that there was absolutely no insurrection. See, that's the danger of sending tapes only to one place and not to all other media outlets. And other media outlets are still asking for it. So, y'all, there's a lot that's going on. So, I'm go back to something that I said probably 2 years ago. We need to start organizing in a place to where someone says, well, this is my area of interest. So I'm going to focus on surveillance and the borders with Mexico. Somebody else may say, you know what, I'm going to focus on what's happening with Fox News and the propaganda they put out there. Somebody else might say, okay, I'm going to focus on voting rights and voter education. I'm going to focus on that. And somebody else may say, well, I'm going to focus on the bills and the legislation that's coming out of Florida or Texas or Utah or Kansas, whatever. We have to become smart and start looking at it across the board and start feeding that back in. That's why I'm calling once again for News in Motion ambassadors so that we can bring the news that we need to bring and that we have people on the ground in those areas who's making sure that we are reporting what needs to be reported. Y'all, this is March 2023. I know you're saying the elections are not until the primaries early 2024 and then the general election in November 2024. But the time is now. We cannot wait. Y'all, I shared yesterday about the bills that are coming out of Florida yesterday, what they're going to be discussing, y'all. And some of you looked it up and some of you emailed me and said, I thought you were like crazy, but this is really happening. It is happening. It is happening. And hear me, if Florida passes a bill to get rid of the Democratic Party, and I can't remember which bill it was. I think it was Senate Bill 1245. I'm not for sure. One of y'all may remember. I'll bring it back up if I can find it in a moment. But if we are focused, if we're not focusing on that, yeah, that will set a precedent. And we need to say, okay, what's happening? And it pops off at different places. So we need to pay attention and do what we need to do on this side now. So we also have Biden. Right now, he's in a good position. I'm not talking election at the moment. I'm talking he's in a good position to get some more things passed because of the fight with Marjorie Taylor Greene and her shenanigans and George Santos, Anthony DeVoyer, and his shenanigans and other things that are happening in the House chambers. President Biden has some what they call bully pulpit power, where he's using regulations and public pressure to enact his agenda as Congress begins to stall. They're stalling. And they're stalling because they're focused on Hunter Biden's laptop and they're focused on trying to impeach the attorney general. And they're trying to focus on how to impeach Joe Biden. But the majority of the people in that chamber are saying, I don't want to do this. This is not our focus right now. So they have stalled because they have a weak speaker who took 15 votes to get in there because he was negotiating everything. He has no backbone because he has no power because he gave all his power to people like Matt Gaetz and others. So they're not able to move forward. I want y'all to hear this. They're not able to move forward. So who won in November? Really, nobody won. No one really won in November because they have a slim majority. He's afraid to open his mouth because if he opens his mouth, Marjorie Taylor Greene or Matt Gaetz can stand up on the floor and remove his power of speakership. They can remove it. They can vote him out immediately. And then we're back to voting somebody into that space. That is what's happening. So President Biden has power right now, including lowering prescription drug costs, eliminating junk fees, and expanding affordable child care options. Huffington Post is reporting that, and that is what he's doing. That is what he's focused on. Speaking of that, with prescriptions, some of you may have seen already, Walgreens has made the decision that they will not promote. And I'm reporting news. I'm not saying I'm for it or against it. I'm just reporting news. But Walgreens has made a statement. They've come out and they reported that they were not going to do the next day pill for women, whether it's over the counter or through prescription. So people are saying, here's a time, whether you agree or disagree, because if they do it with one prescription, they will do it with others. I want y'all to hear me. When you are protesting something, it's not because you're necessarily in favor of it. You're looking at the bigger picture. So if they get rid of one thing, will they get rid of something else that you need? Will we have to go to the counter and get everything given to us and give our license and this, that, and the other? And then they tell you, up, you just got some 30 days ago. You got to wait another 30 days. But it's like, but I had a headache for 30 days and I needed all 30 of them the last time. Well, you want me to wait 30 days to get 30 more? We can't live like this. So people are calling on Walgreens. They're saying to contact Walgreens corporate office, and you can contact. We got the receipts. You can contact the CEO James Skinner, and that's Skinner, or you can write to Walgreens headquarters, which is, I have that too, 200 Wilmot. That's WILMONT Road. So 200 Wilmot, WILMONT Road, Deerfield, Illinois, 60015. Again, that's 200 Wilmot Road. And if somebody's in YouTube, put it in there. If somebody's in LinkedIn, put it in that chat. If somebody's on Facebook, put it in that chat. The CEO is James Skinner, SKINNER. Walgreens headquarters are located at 200 Wilmot, WILM as in Mary, ON as in Nancy, T as in Tom Road, Deerfield, DEERFIELD, Illinois, 60015. You want the corporate headquarter number? Got that too for you. It is 1-847-914-2500. Again, that's 1-847-914-2500. And what you're really saying is that, you know what? I'm not for you stopping that prescription or other prescriptions that may be on your roster of things to delete, whether it's prescription or over the counter. We have to stand up and share it. A lot of people are moving, they're transferring their prescriptions, their regular prescriptions from Walgreens to CVS or Target or Costco or others. You do what's best for you. Again, I'm reporting the news. I'm not saying I'm for or against the medication itself. I'm reporting this news because this will set a precedent for other things. We have to start thinking differently, people. We have to start thinking differently. The last thing, our inspirational message, and we don't know why we're freezing, but it's okay. Lori says, I get knocked off of News in Motion every day between 7:45 and 8 a.m. This is so interesting. This is so interesting. Thank you, Marion. It's Senate Bill 1248. Thank you for that. So, y'all, here's the inspirational message for today. Taking back territory. Y'all, as I shared yesterday, our ancestors has done a lot. And there's no way we can sit back and allow the people in office to take us backwards and overturn everything that has been put in place. We saw what happened in Tennessee. The governor, the bill, signing a bill with banning drag and just everything that's happening. I believe it was yesterday. As of yesterday, have been now 9 transgender people who have been murdered this year. There's a lot that's happening. So, y'all, we have to take back territory. We have to exercise the authority that we have. And y'all know, those of you who may be new to this, to News in Motion, I am a follower of Jesus. And our inspirational message oftentimes have a Christian bent to it. Actually, most of the time have a Christian bent to it. So I want to go just for a moment to John chapter 14, verse 12, where it says, we will do greater things than these. We will do greater things than these, which means we have to rise up and take back territory. No violence, but using our voice, standing our ground, registering people to vote. And not only getting them registered to vote, but making sure that they actually vote and that they have the voter education behind it. That's one thing I have not stressed over the past 2 years. And with that, I apologize. I should have been stressing Not only do we get them registered to vote, we make sure they get there, but on their way getting them to that precinct to vote, that we offer voter education. Yes, we drop ballotpedia.org, and we're trusting that people will just go there and look these things up for themselves. We're going to have to do it differently. Again, that's why I'm calling on News in Motion ambassadors, because in your area, in your city, we're going to have what it takes. So we need those resources, y'all. We need those financial resources to make this stuff happen. We do. And I'm going to try my best. I've talked about it every day this week, but we really do need you. For those of you who did send a cash app yesterday, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But we want to start going to each city and each state to let you know what's on your ballot, to be able to have some one-on-one education or group education so that you get the facts. Both Democrats, Republicans, Green Party, Independents, Libertarians, whomever, we want to say, okay, here are the people. This is what they're for, this is what they're against, and giving you the facts behind that. It's going to take a lot of work for us to do that, but I'm committed to doing that, because these times that I'm seeing right now, they're difficult. So in order to take back territory, we have to be educated to have an understanding of what that is, which means our April break is coming up. We're going to need that break to come back in May, ready to hit the ground running. July, again, is going to be the young people take over. I'm not going to show up in July. I won't be showing up in August, but I'll be back in September, hitting the ground running through the first week of Thanksgiving. We'll take another break. We're taking the break so that we can refuel and come back, refuel and come back. Because when we come back, January 2024, y'all, it's all hands on deck. And I'm asking you all now, many of you have been following us since day one on News in Motion. At that point, it was just Gail Dudley. It was called Gail Dudley, or it wasn't called anything. And then we created the name News in Motion. But y'all, there's a lot that's happening. There's a lot on the docket, and we have to be ready and prepared to come out doing the work that we need to do. Let me see what some of you are saying. I see a lot of you over there on YouTube. Thank you, Marion, for putting the Walgreens information up. Yes, we're taking back territory. We're going to figure out what this freezing is all about. Jeffrey Allen James says Mitch needs, talking about Mitch McConnell, needs to start putting the mules back in the stables. Mike Nicholson says, yes, he's been a ghost. Kenny Stanley says Tucker needs to be charged also for pushing the insurrection, lying about what he knew. Dr. Antoinette said, in his view, Eminem should only wear certain shoes. Yep. Frank Clay, good morning to you. He says, disruptions and distractions are the strategies of the fight of the war to come. Stay focused on the news and be ready to make a move. There it is, y'all. There it is. He said a lot right there. Kim Edmondson says, I switched to YouTube. You were freezing. I'm glad you're at YouTube. Let's see. Dr. Antoinette said the GOP Hunger Games have begun. May the odds be in our favor. And we say those things, but that there's some truth to that. Gwen says she's went to YouTube. Okay, a lot of y'all went to YouTube. So today was a little bit different than yesterday, but I needed to bring it down a notch so that I can hopefully get you all to understand the truth. Frank Clay says our young people need to hold the line of truth. So we're slow walking some of this. Yesterday, if you missed yesterday, I would encourage you to go and watch the replay. I watched the replay and said, I said all that without looking at any notes. But I was like, I need to bottle this up and put the yesterday into a book form and get it out there. And who knows, I may do that. But y'all, we have a lot of work to do. So again, here's my ask that I asked on yesterday. The ask is this, if I can find it, and maybe I won't be able to find it and you won't have to worry about it. But the ask is, I guess that was March 6th, right? Let me give it to you again. We're here to do research, but we want you to do the research as well. Y'all know I always say to you all, look it up for yourselves. Look it up for yourselves. Kim Edmondson said, you said what you said. I did too. And yesterday was the first time I've ever given a hard ask. We've kind of like just floated out there. Give to our Cash App or give to our fiduciary agent who is making a difference LLC. So I made the decision to give up some of my coaching. because I want to focus everything here. And the coaching helps pays my bills. Okay, y'all. It helps me get everything I need to do. But I decided to stay focused on this because it's that important. After I watched everything that was happening in the news over the weekend, over the last week, since last Tuesday, even with the representative who said, and can we add hang them by a tree? And remember, I did not report that immediately because I wanted to get the whole clip. I didn't want to just go off of a soundbite before I brought you this information. So I made the decision that, okay, I want to focus here, but I cannot do this alone. We do not use corporate sponsors at the moment because they want to dictate what we say and they want us to change our narrative. And I've said no, because I'm only committed to giving y'all facts and the truth. That's why we're being shadow banned right now on Facebook. So we need your financial help to make it happen. Just like we give to food banks, clothing banks, other causes, voter education, news, and politics are just as important. Just like you give to them, we're asking you to give to us. When you give to them, it goes to operations, it goes to the actual cause, it goes to putting together booklets, it goes to paying staff, it goes to gas, it goes to all those things. We're asking the same thing. If you give by Cash App, understand you will not get a receipt. The Cash App is the $ M as in Mary, I M as in Mary today. If Isaiah can put that up, Cash App MIM today. Or if you want a tax receipt, you can give it through our fiduciary agent, which is Making a Difference LLC. And he'll put that up there as well. You can send a check to 346 and a half North 20th Street, Columbus, Ohio, 43203. Put in the memo section, NewsInMotion / Gail Dudley. Please be sure to send us a note that you have sent that check because we want to be able to properly thank you as well. So y'all, that's the message today. Tomorrow we have a Workshop Wednesday. You don't want to miss it. Isaiah's coming back with Workshop Wednesday. Then we have more news headlines. So with that, y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.
News in motion.